Welcome. I'm K. Sanyal from Bishop Westcott Boys School, taking physics for class 8. We follow the concise physics of middle school, that is class 8, of Selina Publishers. That book we are following. So our first chapter in physics that starts with the chapter name matter. From our previous knowledge of matter, we read in physics, also in chemistry also, that matter is one which has its free existence, which can be perceived by our senses, by feeling of touch and all, at the same time that which occupies space, and that which has its quantity of matter called its mass. That means a matter should have the mass, the volume, and must be perceived by the senses, the human senses. That is the matter, that much we know. Now, when we talk about the matter, we name the substances like materials, the substances like gases like oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, solid substances like rocks and minerals, the liquid substances, water and many other liquids. They are all in the forms of matter, so that we know well that what the matter is. That knowledge we have. Now, directly we switch over to what is the composition of matter. The composition, matter, its composition, what it is made of. Composition, how it is composed of. Matter is composed of, nowadays we say something, but in the beginning the matter was not named as such. They were in Sanskrit word that was called tattvas. Tattvas means the most fundamental unit of substance. That time it was in that Sanskrit text and all, it was tattva. They were 5 in number. Perhaps you read in history also. 5 in number. That is Akash, sky. That is Vayu, that is air. That is Tejas or Agni, that is fire. That is water, that is Jal. And the 5th one was the soil, as the Prithvi it was called. They are all very usual names, everybody can follow this as the 5 tattvas, but these were very primitive levels. But when some says of Indian culture called Maharishi Kanad, he came into the field. He made his own research work and thought. Of course, there is a very small story behind. I'm not going to go to that. He threw something and found that something was eatable. He was just throwing out. He found that eatable substances were fragmented, were broken. They were split into so many small chips. That he felt that substances may not be a complete one matter, complete one thing. It is a composed of many small fragments. These small fragments he named as Anu in his own Sanskrit term. So, Maharshi Kanad was the first who ever said that the word was Anu, means very small existing particles, many small existing particles. Particles means smallest part of any object. Then this smallest part of object, as he named Anu in Sanskrit, very small parts. How much small parts? That was not that time described. But on his own way, he found that these parts may not be divisible. They may exist, but that may not be divisible. It was in his first thought. But he also found that that can also be divisible. And later on, he just made his papers ready out of that all substances are made up of very, 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 very small, indivisible. Rather, remove the term indivisible from there, because he found that Anu can also be divisible. And he named that as Anu, the smallest particles, which can exist freely in the nature. That time, no gaseous, no liquids, no substances, they were not named as such. Later on, quite late, in the field, there came Sir John Dalton. He was the first ever known person in the field of science, field of physics and chemistry both, who ever gave the definition of the smallest particles as such. He named that, he named that as molecule. As he named that as molecule, the smallest existing particles which can exist in free state in the nature, but it does not take part in chemical reactions. Molecules are that which may exist freely in the nature, the smallest particles ever, but they cannot take part in chemical reactions. For the chemical reactions, later on he described that molecules should further be divisible, further be broken, further be split into much smaller particles, as he named later on as that was also he named as atom. Though this Anu was present at the time of Rishi Kannad, this was translated by some other authors as atom as such. As atom as such. Molecule, this term was given by Sir John Dalton only. He found that Anu was better to be said as a molecule, whereas atoms can be said later on as the Paramanu, as in the Sanskrit text. So, as molecule can be broken to atom. Molecules are divisible. Molecules are divisible, free existing, but unreactive. They don't take part in chemical reactions. Whereas atoms, these atoms, at first it was said it is indivisible, but later on it was found that this is also divisible. Okay, this is also divisible, and later on it was said that they are not free existing, but they take part in chemical reactions. So that is a very vital difference between molecules and atoms, that molecules are the smallest particles which can be existing in the nature in free state, but hardly take part in any chemical reaction, whereas the atoms which will take part in chemical reactions necessarily, but will not be existing in the free state of matter. That way the composition was done, and so that helped us to know a molecule with one atom, called monoatomic, like the gases, helium, neon, argon. These are the names of the noble gases as such, which can either be said a molecule or can also be said an atom. So their atomic structures are themselves giving the shape and existence as the molecule. So they are monoatomic. Mono means one. Mono means one. If there are two atoms and making one molecule, they are called diatomic. Diatomic are those all natural gases. All natural gases like oxygen gas, oxygen molecule, hydrogen molecule, nitrogen molecule. These are all molecules because they require more than one atom in them. So they require more than one atom. That is diatomic. There can be triatomic, there can be tetraatomic, there can be penta, hexa, octa, like that. But we are not going to that detail. Your book says more than two atoms, they directly say it is a polyatomic. Poly means many. Poly means many. Maybe 3 atoms making a molecule, maybe 4 atoms making a molecule, maybe 6 atoms making a molecule. So in one name they are said to be the polyatomic. The polyatomic. The polyatomic can be having more than one atom to form a molecule. Having more than 2 atoms to form a molecule. Like, say, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide, maybe ozone. They are all more than one atom forming a molecule. So that way, it can be, molecules can further be explained as such. Now the molecules do have some very identifying characteristics. You go in detail as it comes by the term called here as the activity. In your book, it is an activity. Here in the activity, I show you first, I'll try to show, and then I explain what I wanted to show it here. This is plain water. This is plain water. I've just marked the water level. I believe if it is, I turn it to your side. Are you seeing 200? This 200 means 200 milliliter of water is there. Just level of water is marked at 200 milliliter. To that, I add common salt, that is sodium chloride. This is powdery sodium chloride, that is common salt. Slowly I add this salt powder to this. And with this glass rod, if it is stirred up, after some times of the stirring up, gradually the salt particles are getting dissolved, and ultimately what will happen, the salt particles will